notMYkid was introduced to me about a year ago, and since then, at every opportunity, I've tried to have them on campus. And as I look at our employees, I think, wow, this is a population and a community full of families. And I knew that it was going to benefit our employees. The focus here is to keep our employees healthy, providing excellent care. And if we're taking care of our employees, the patients are going to benefit. The first thing I hear following a presentation is I usually have emails and phone calls asking me, when is the next presentation? I missed it, I couldn't get there, something happened on the unit. So there is an interest. Employees are going back to their floors or their respective units and they're talking about notMYkid.
With notMYkid, it's not just giving information, it's giving a story. And so the best way for students to hear something is hearing a story. Something they can relate to, something that doesn't sound like, well, here's the facts, why not to use drugs. But let me tell you, if they hear a story, they're much more likely to connect with it. And so after some of the presentations, some of the students actually come up to the presenters and let them know that they connected to the story and ask for more support and ask for questions. And so that's the impact. It's making that personal impact as opposed to a scare tactic.
That whole interaction with the teacher and student has been occurring, and the teachers appreciate it because rather than the students holding it in, it's now coming to the teacher's front and they can deal with the situation and have that conversation with the child.
I was no longer capable of being happy, of feeling joy, passion, and it was in that moment when I could no longer feel those things that my depression really started. Now, self-injury is the intentional injuring of one's own body. I was using substances and hurting myself, and lying and cheating and getting into this negative lifestyle.
We all use marijuana, and marijuana was the thing to do in this group, and pretty soon, before I knew it, we were all using it all the time, and I started selling it. I thought I had a good thing going, I thought I was on top of everything, but really, my life was spiraling out of control. I had no idea.
When I was 9 years old, in 4th grade, I skipped my first school lunch. And I thought, not a big deal, right? I just didn't feel like eating. I didn't feel like facing all the people in the cafeteria, and I just wanted to be by myself. But that little lunch that was not a big deal became a habit that would take 10 years for me to stop.
The first time that I got asked out by the captain of the football team, I thought, this is it. This is love. But then in that moment, I gave my heart away. And not just emotionally, but physically too. And I couldn't take that back. I got so depressed after being in an abusive relationship, I knew the only way out was to end my life. And I did. I attempted suicide. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know who I was. And I didn't know who I deserved. And how could anyone ever truly love who I was if I didn't love who I was? But when I was healthy like I am now, I can be in a relationship and be healthy with that person, not dependent on them, because my life, it's full.
Today, I am happily about to graduate college with an incredibly honorable GPA. I was chosen out of 70,000 students to represent my campus at a national conference in St. Louis. I'm able to experience these things today because I've realized my self-worth. I'm the one to control my own life, and I don't let negative friendships into my life.
But now that my life is so full and I have so much more going for myself, I can't put me in a bag. I can't weigh myself. I can't put a price tag on my life because my life is priceless now.
That when that feeling comes up, I can now turn to him or any of my other friends and say, you know, I don't feel so good today. You know, what can I do? I feel lonely, I feel sad, I feel out of control, I feel fill in the blank. Right? And they give me those tools that I need to jump out of it and to say, hey, I'm going to make a healthier choice today.
And I think having tools to learn how to cope, tools to educate, tools to change the world. You know, people think, well, I just can't do it, but you know, the power of one is powerful.